Hello there, it's Gabby here from Confidence After Cancer, and I hope this finds you well. This week I'm going to talk about a subject I've talked about before, and that's overwhelm. I'm talking about it before because it keeps coming up time and time again, both for myself and also for people that I'm working with. So the question I'm going to be thinking about is overwhelm. Does life sometimes feel too difficult, and does it feel sometimes like you're too busy? And if it does, I've got 4 tips for you that have worked for me and have worked for people that I know and I hope might help you. And as always, you know me, there's no judgment here. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to share my experience, share some things that have worked, and I'm hoping will help you as well. Because what strange times we are living in. I cannot tell you over the last week, I've had some personal challenges and I'm not going to go into that now, but I've been speaking to so many people who are telling me they don't know what's going on. I've got a friend who is a healer, an absolutely beautiful soul. I can't tell you this lady, I'm not going to break any confidences at all, but she's somebody that's been a mentor to me, somebody that I really look up to, somebody who inspires me, somebody who's got so many gifts. And she told me that she'd done something this week that was really out of character for her. And she said she found herself almost like an out-of-body experience, listening to herself ranting. And she said, I was like the exorcist. She said it was like something had taken over me. And okay, that might be a little bit extreme, but I also know other people that have said to me, I'm not quite sure what's going on this week. I've had a strange week. I felt very emotional. I felt very angry, felt very frustrated. And I can relate to that. I really can. And I think sometimes we all just need to take that little step back. And that's why the subject of this week is, are you too busy? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Because if you are, there's a lot of things in the world we know we cannot control. I'm looking out of my window now and an absolute storm has just started. It's come out of nowhere. When I started talking, it was bright sunshine. And now this really heavy rain has come out of nowhere. And that's life, isn't it? Things will come out of nowhere. Things will knock you off center. Things will knock you off your path that you're on, and things that you think you knew. And I've had that, you think you know somebody, and maybe, my perception of that person was wrong. I thought I knew somebody, and then something's happened this week, and I'm thinking, wow, that I wasn't expecting that. And it's really rocked my world. It really has. So there's a lot going on outside of us. I'm not even going to talk about financial stuff, environmental stuff. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'm using this word stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Crazy things happening in the world that we cannot always control. We may be able to influence it in our own little way or our own big way, depending on what our role is. But for most part, what goes on in the world around us, we cannot control. But what we can control is our inner world and how we respond to stuff. And I talk about this a lot with cancer patients, but it applies to anybody, whether you've had an illness or not. You can't control if you get that diagnosis. That's out of your hands. But what you can control to a degree is how you respond to it. And I think that, to me, that's part of my maturity, and it's part of my journey that I'm on. I'm 60 years old now. I'm still learning stuff. I'm still learning stuff about me. I'm still learning things about myself that I'm not really happy with, that I'd like to improve. Mistakes that I've made that I'm looking back thinking, I shouldn't really have done that. I am trying not to beat myself up, and I'm trying to show myself some compassion. And I invite you to do the same as well. We all make mistakes. That is the human condition. What we can do, though, and it's not going to be all negative this week. You know me, I try and spread some positivity, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm going to give you 4 top tips of things that have worked for me that help me when I'm overwhelmed. So the first thing I would invite you to do is, first thing in the morning, instead of checking your phone, check your heart. How are you feeling inside? How's your mood? What are you thinking about? Okay. What are you looking forward to? If you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, sometimes it just helps to look to the day ahead. Plan the day ahead as best you can to have a good day. So what can you do that's going to make you have a good day? And it can be something really simple, like being given a lovely cup of coffee, a chat with a friend, watching a nice film, whatever. It can be a 5-minute thing that you can just do for yourself, just sitting and breathing. And I was on a call the other day and somebody did a really nice breathing technique, and I might bring that into another podcast. It's not about today, but it was 5 minutes of, I don't think it was even 5 minutes of this breathing technique that this lady did. Susie, fabulous lady. And I felt amazing afterwards. I felt so calm, so grounded. And that just made me realise, well, how was I feeling before that call? I wasn't clearly not grounded, clearly not calm, and I needed to be for clarity. The other thing I'd like you to think about is, how do you assess your own worth? You know, we all do it sometimes. I have done in the past, assess my worth by my status at work. I assess my work and my worth by how many things I ticked off my to-do list. I assess my worth by how tidy or clean or smart my home was. Some people assess their worth by how many likes they get on social media. And I think that's a really dangerous road to go down, because you can't control that. Yes, it's great if your friends like what you're doing. Yes, it's great if you've got followers, if that's what you're into. But that doesn't make you worthy. And if you don't get those likes and you don't get those followers, that doesn't mean you're unworthy. So it can be a factor if that's what you want to look at, but it's not the whole story. Okay, so check in with your heart. Your heart always knows what's best for you. And if you need somebody to talk to and work through that, speak to a coach, speak to a therapist, speak to me, you know where I am. The second thing I would say that can help you when you're feeling overwhelmed is to let stuff go. And that can be mental stuff that you're carrying around. You know, she said this and he did that, and all the stuff that we carry around. Find a way to let that go. And again, talking therapies can be good. Just doing something else, getting outside, doing some exercise can help you let stuff go. But also physical stuff. I'm a huge fan of feng shui, of decluttering, of having good energies in your home. And a top tip I would give you is, if you are overwhelmed by the clutter that's in your home, just start a box or a bag for a charity shop. I like to always keep one in the boot of my car. And if you're overwhelmed and you don't want to spend a lot of time decluttering your home, just do a little bit every day. 5 minutes. Just let 3 things go every day. If you let 3 things go every day out of your home, you know, clothes that you don't wear, pens that don't work, you know, maybe cutlery in your drawer that's never been used. Little things every day. If you let 3 things go every day over a year, that's over 1,000 items that have gone out of your home. And what you're doing is expanding the energy. You're expanding the space that you've got around you. I know this when you've done a really good wardrobe declutter. It's so much easier to, if you get rid of everything that doesn't fit you, everything you've not worn for over a year, everything that's, you know, seen better days, anything that you're not really in love with anymore, let it go. Give it to charity if it's still in good condition. And what you have got left, you can see better, you can see more clearly, you can see what you've got. And if you really want to get stuck into a really thorough decluttering, yes, set a day aside for that. But I find it sometimes easier, maybe set a timer. You know, like a little cooking time that you might have. Everyone's got timers on the phone now, haven't they? Set a timer and just think, right, 10 minutes, I'm going to declutter. I'm going to tidy my desk. I'm going to tidy my makeup bag, whatever it is. That always gives me clarity. It gives me a little bit of control. It stops that feeling of overwhelm dragging me down. The third tip I'm going to give you is get over yourself, okay? Get over yourself. And what does that mean? Well, we all do it, and I'm guilty of this. Overanalyzing, overreacting. But also this week, I've been conscious of over-explaining. I've offered an apology to somebody who didn't want to accept it. I explained, I said a genuine apology. It was a genuine apology. I explained what had happened. I'm not going to keep over-explaining. That is a drain on my energy. That apology hasn't landed well. That's outside of my control. So again, I'm all about thinking about, what can I control? Well, I control. Stop overthinking about that. Move on. Stop over-explaining. Stop over-analysing what's happened in the past. Can't change the past. All I can do is learn the lesson and think, shouldn't have done that. Not going to do that again. Okay. My fourth tip I'm going to give you this week when you are feeling overwhelmed, and it's something I've said before, and I'm going to keep saying it until it lands, because I'm still learning this lesson, and that is to be kind, especially to yourself. Be soft, be gentle, be forgiving with yourself. You know, you're not a machine. You are human. You may make mistakes. We all do. That doesn't make you a bad person, does it? Okay. Make some time for yourself. Give yourself some grace. If somebody's reaching out to you, reach back out to them. Be conscious of who you are spending your time with. Be conscious of who you are giving your energy to. Okay. People around us, we sometimes underestimate how much influence they have on us. And I know that myself. I talked before about how I can't bear to watch the news on TV anymore. It's just bad news, you know, dragging you down, that energy. I would much rather put 5 minutes on, if I've got a quick break, of watch something on YouTube, somebody who inspires me, somebody's got something interesting to say, somebody's going to give me a different point of view. I've got a few people that I follow like that. The video shorts, I love that now on YouTube. You can pick up and just, have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and sit and watch something that lifts your spirit, not drags you down. So I hope those 4 things have been useful for you. Remember the first one, check in with your heart. Be kind to yourself, okay? Secondly, let stuff go. Let it all go. Don't carry it around with you anymore if you're feeling overwhelmed. We need to free up some energy. We need to let stuff go, okay? Third thing is give over and get over yourself. Stop overanalyzing. Stop over-explaining. Stop overreacting to things, okay? Get over yourself. Just come back to who you are. Come back to the lovely person that you are before what life wore you down. So the last thing is be kind. Be kind to others. Be kind to the people that love you and the people that you love. Get more of that in your life. Reach out to me if I can help you with anything. But please remember this week, the most important thing is to be kind, especially to yourself. You deserve it. Crazy times in the world. But how do we change that? And I think we change that by being kind to ourselves, to others, starting ripples of kindness around the world. I really believe that's how we change the world. Love is always stronger than hate. We can do this. We can get through these difficult times, and I'm always here for you. So thank you so much for listening to me. You know where I am, confidenceaftercancer.co.uk. Reach out to me, ping me a message. I'm here for you. Take care, my love. Bye-bye.